All right, what is up, everybody? This is Keith Jameson. Go back, get a guy 231 across the deepest century. It is Thursday night, August 12th, and we are on the eve of the EPL kickoff with Arsenal versus Brentford. I already did a preview for Saturday's five-gamer up previously, so just scroll through the channel. You will see that preview. But today is all about the massive showdown, big prize pools for soccer between Brentford and Arsenal. It's going to be an interesting slate, to say the least. I think both teams have some question marks on what their lineup's going to be. I think we have a better idea of Brentford than we do Arsenal, which, kind of sucks because Arsenal is the more important lineup. They are the favorite. They're about minus 134 favorite away to Brentford, newly promoted Brentford. I kind of made mention of this for the Villa and Watford game yesterday, which first off, I probably was like a little hard on Emi Buendia. The more I thought about it, I was just like, man, I probably should give him some more credit than I did, just because he balls out everywhere. But, it's still the point I was going to make is that Watford's home crowd is going to be insane. And they were playing really good football. We even saw, I want to say it was Norwich a few years ago, beat City at home in one of the first few games. Like, the home field crowd bump on a newly promoted team, like that is a thing. And I think on a team that's I consider Arsenal fragile because they just, have been underwhelming for so long. I think that they have a couple of new players that they're going to be incorporating. Ben White at the back. Let me try and make sure I got his name right. They're all the lineups are calling him Sambi, their new midfielder from I believe it's the Dutch league. He's a really good player, but you've got like the spine of a team, like Ben White in the middle of the pitch, like that's immediately crucial. And, I think that Brentford could surprise. So we'll go into plays. I think Brentford from a GPP perspective is an outstanding place to tackle, especially in that big field GPP when everybody's just going to flock to the names they know in Arsenal. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a minute. And I'm going to try to introduce you to as many players that I know that well, that I've researched, that hopefully will help you cash tomorrow. Quick reminder, all season long, going to be doing these previews, mainly for the main slate. If we get more of these, like if Friday, EPL GPPs, I don't know how many, I haven't looked ahead at the schedule, but if we keep getting like big showdowns, I plan to do previews for it. So a couple previews a week. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So like, subscribe, comment, all really does help. Free videos, so please support us where you can. And if you're interested in the premium content, there's a link in the bio. You can get on board for a small amount per day. I want to say it's $4. I should know my prices more than I do. There's just a lot of different packages. We have a really active soccer room. We cover every single showdown in classic slate, so we'd love to have you aboard FSI. All right, and just for those record, those are core plays plus chat. We have a little diagram that we give you, kind of giving you an idea of, who are the players that have floors, who's more goal dependent, who's on sets, all that good stuff to set you up the best to make your lineups. All right, let's jump into the lineups now. SofaScore, my preferred place on these videos to do lineups, does not have a lineup out. So we're going to do a combination of this place I found that it's like an Arsenal, part of Sports Nation. I've got a couple of papers up from England, and then we got RotoWire. So we're going to try to get a consensus here, but this seems pretty good. I think I would think that Aubameyang has to slot in here somewhere. I just don't know where. Is he playing striker for Lacazette? Is he in for Pepe or Saka? I don't know. We're going to go off of this, and I'm going to just give you kind of some ideas of if Aubameyang is and how that changes roles. So if this is the lineup, Pepe and Saka should split sets. They would be the first two clicks in my lineup. Saka, we just obviously with England becoming a starter in the final by the end. Great young player. You're not gonna. I did not find myself like lacking salary in this slate, so I just don't think it's that hard to get the wingers. And I would just say this: if Aubameyang is a winger, whether it's for Pepe or Saka, I just think you lock and load him. So it's going to be like locking and loading these wingers for Arsenal, especially the ones that have sets. Pepe and Saka should have sets. If there's no Saka and it's just Pepe, then Pepe is probably on a set monopoly and is probably like the most optimal captain, and vice versa. If there's no Pepe and Saka's in, then he should be on a set monopoly, and then becomes the optimal captain more than likely. in a cash build, right? In like an optimal build, GPPs, whoever you think is going to score a goal. If you think Brentford's going to shut Arsenal out, you go through all of those different scenarios and plan that out. But optimal build, I think that's where you go. Now, Smith Rowe is probably the next, of the attackers, the next most cash viable. Whoever starts up top is really going to be goal, assist, or bust. Smith Rowe is a nice player. He potentially could have sets. He has taken some in swingers on his right foot. I just think that it's more than likely Saka and Pepe, but Smith Rowe, I think, will be plenty popular. Good player. I don't think his floor is phenomenal, but you're going to get to the point where you get to like your fifth and sixth players, and you're not necessarily going to be getting guys that you think have a double-digit floor. So I think Smith Rowe's fine. The defensive midfielders for Arsenal, only like last man in type of situations. I don't think you're going out of your way to, and it's Lukanga, I believe, is the other name. Like one of the Sambi, I think he has like three. Was like Albert Sambi Lukango, I believe. Let's see if I'm even close to being right, or did I just absolutely butcher the young superstar's name? I did good. Albert Sambi Lukanga. So not bad. Nice player, but they're going to be playing defensive midfield roles. I think Tierney is a great cash play. He was playing when he played left back, was always very productive, likes to cross. So I think he will be very close to a core play for me. Bellerin is fine, but definitely a step back from Tierney. If you think that Arsenal keeps a clean sheet, you play Leno. Otherwise, you avoid it. I do think, despite Ben White being a very good player, Pablo Mari being a good player, whether it's Rob Holding back there, whoever else their defenders are. Who else could it be? Could it be Gabriel? You could have all sorts of guys. If Ben White is with them, that's a new partnership. So I do worry about it. All right. I think that covers Arsenal pretty well. I'm just going to go to RotoWire for Brentford. I think this is pretty close. So Ivan Toney, he was leading scorer in the championship last year. He's the only guy that actually has any Premier League experience. He played 11 minutes for Newcastle. He will lead the line. Brian Mbeumo, I think is the right way to say it, is the best play, though. He should be on a majority of set pieces. You could see Sergi Canos, who plays wingback, on a few too. Those two are the best floors by far, Mbeumo and Canos. Rico Henry could play wingback. They also have, I want to say it's Jorgensen. Give me 2 seconds. We got a decent amount of Brentford slates last year. It's Rasmussen, could be the other right wing back. I think Rico Henry really plays like a left wing back. So, and Sergi Canos also did too. So it'll be interesting. But you probably see Canos, Rico Henry, or Mads Rasmussen. Rasmussen was decent. So is Henry. So both those guys are in play. They play with the back three. And in the back three, Pinnock is actually very, very active. He's a big guy, so he could be a set piece threat. Azure, I believe, is the guy that got from Celtic. Supposed to be a pretty good center back, but for our purposes in DFS, probably not going to target it. So yeah, I think that covers Brentford well. So let's just real quickly before we wrap this up, so from a core perspective, I think it's like Saka and Mbeumo and Pepe. That would be like my first three in. Tierney being up there as a top guy, and then obviously if Aubameyang is in, you probably look for him. Tony, a great GPP play. All these things. Keep in mind, for GPP on Showdown, it's all about scripting. So if you think Brentford is going to win 1-0, how is Brentford going to do it? Is it going to be Ivan Toney? Cool. If Tony scores, make him your captain. If it's 1-0, a goalie gets 5 for the win, 5 for the sheet, and then any saves. So 10 points, that's a goal's worth of points. So if you think either team's win 1-0, if Arsenal wins 1-0, Burton Lindo needs to be in your lineup. If Brentford wins 1-0, I can't even think of the name of their goalkeeper. Let's go back to that screen. Who was it? Raya. I had some other name too. But anyhow, he should be in your lineup. Like, goalies are super important in Showdown because if any of them get a clean sheet win, they just scored a goal, and they scored a goal at a much cheaper price. So very important to get them in. Stacking up, predicting outcomes, that is the name of the game in Showdown. But from a cash perspective, you're playing the game as it's like 0-0, or like really for me, I like to play the game as it's 1-1 with 2 own goals. So I take all the goals out, all the assists out. Who's going to get me the most floor points without scoring a goal? That's guys like fullbacks, wingbacks, wide players with sets. That's what we want to target. That would be my advice to you for tomorrow. And I wish you the best of luck in doing that. For prize picks, last little mention, prize picks, I'll see where the board is at. I don't know if they have a board up tonight. Haven't had really a chance to look at it. I might look at it before bed, but either try to do some sort of video or something on my Twitter for prize picks for the game tomorrow. There should be some Bundesliga up too, so we can get some good things to pair it with. If you use promo code FSI, you get 100% match up to $100. So make sure you support our friends at Prize Picks. Great way to get a sweat from props and while you follow your DraftKings times. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, this is Keith, aka Gator Guy 231. See you.